welcome to Multiversial, a show where a judge introduces a world that is just like ours, but with one key difference, to our two master debaters to argue if it's plausible and how. It's like trying to explain to people why NFTs are bad. I am your judge today, Jen, and allow me to introduce you to our two debaters. We've got my lovely wife, Leia, and the talented music composer, Deacon, who does all of our sounds.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Oh boy, the energy in here is spiking.
I mean, I could be more energetic. I wanted to be dramatic. There's a big distinction.
Oh, all right. Are you all ready for today's topic? Are you excited?
Oh my god.
Are you feeling it?
I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Where are we going? Where are we going today on our mystical, magical wonder ride?
Today I introduce you to a world in which every species, so humans with humans, dogs with dogs, like within your interspecies, their emotions are a hive mind.
Ugh.
So basically, if a majority of humans are happy, everyone gets to be happy.
So we all
So
are
it's
an emotional collective?
We are an emotion, but not a thought collective. Our thoughts are not our hive mind, but emotionally we are a hive mind. So we all affect each other's emotions organically.
So basically, humanity over the last 80 years just completely plummeted. That we're nihilistic.
So I was going to say a world in which we are all Diogenes.
In English for the rest of us.
Diogenes was a philosopher. He's a massive dickhole.
Oh, rip.
To be fair, most of those philosophers were dickholes. Because, like, let's look at ancient Greece and go, what's your job? Oh, I'm an architect. I build things. What's your job? I'm a farmer. I farm and make sure that we're all fed. What's your job? I think. Like, about science and stuff? No. I just think.
I think and I speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Diogenes was known as Diogenes the Cynic. He used to, like, hold candles to people's faces and, like...
What?
Say that he was looking for a man. Or he also said at one point that in a rich man's house, there is no place to spit but his face.
Which, well, that one I can agree with.
I feel that one, but
yeah.
but a lot of those are like...
Oh, well, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So, I don't even know how, like... the world works with that. I mean, like, man.
I mean, the last year sucked. Like, the last year would have
Oh
sucked.
my god, yeah, no, it'd just be, like, never ending, like, once the waves come crashing down. Could you imagine, though, like, just a day where everybody's vibing really poorly and everybody simultaneously wants to order takeout, but everyone who also delivers the takeout and cooks the takeout is like, I want takeout. So it becomes this never-ending chain of nobody gets anything done because they're all bummed out.
You think there's enough takeout people to collectively affect the emotions of all the people getting takeout?
No, I'm saying there are more people who would be like, I want takeout. And then the takeout people also don't want to do their job because they want takeout. You know,
okay, I understand now.
I think, I see... on that point, I think that there are enough people in the world who actively smoke weed that
everyone would have to smoke weed. Everybody would have to. It would have to be a fucking like mandatory law that everybody's doing edibles. Like,
but no, like for real, like the past year would have been just a constant wave of depression. It would have been awful.
You know, depression mixed with anger.
Yeah,
it's like. Let's look at that for a second, right? Let's really look at it. You have all the riots and protests that happened this year. Think about, like, we just one day we're all really sad, and then the next day everyone's angry. It'd be like nonstop menstruation. What about when all the women menstruate?
This is not where I was expecting.
The women and the men menstruate. Oh my god. What about when all the people with ovaries menstruate?
Okay, well, first off, we don't all menstruate on the same day.
No,
So
but
there
eventually, no, you're all an emotional hive mind. Eventually,
If
you would
it's an
sync
emotional
up.
hive mind, you would
No, but
probably
okay,
all
our
sync up
menses
eventually.
don't sync up because of our emotions. They sync up supposedly over a biological scent thing. It's a hormone scent.
Okay, that's fair, but still, that basically means every month everybody is affected differently. So the whole month, everybody's kind of bitchy.
Only if enough people were having it, which, I mean, if you look at the population of women, it is plausible, I guess. Yeah, that would, maybe we'd get, like, you know, free tampons. I don't know.
Well, tampons would definitely be free. Everybody'd be like, "Why aren't tampons free?" That's stupid.
Well, we're not doing it now, so I don't think this would change that, but
Yeah, but then here's the thing. The rich white men in power would have to feel it. They'd have to feel your menstruation.
possibly, which that would be a victory.
It's the feminist agenda.
On a hive mind of menstruation.
I can't breathe. Hookups would be like, I'm thinking of it just like, all right, let's break it down to everyday life. Eating. I wonder if you'd eat something and then everybody else is happy and you're like, tastes like shit, but I'm happy.
I feel like there would be a constant food because you have people who like eat a lot.
Yeah.
I want to be one of those people. Just, food is great.
Can we also talk about like how horny the world would be? It's already pretty
God.
horny.
Yeah, that one I could see.
That's a universal thing. Everybody gets horny. Well, not everybody, but like a good number of people get horny.
I definitely feel like there are more hornies than nots if we're categorizing by two types.
Yeah. Remember, if you have when we think, we have to branch out our thoughts.
Or the hive mind.
Or the hive mind. Yo, does that mean like people might actually have better fucking empathy?
I mean, probably.
God, I would hope so. Be like, that person did a bad. Yeah, they did do a bad. Yeah.
I mean, as far as like, I don't know. As far as like, I feel like as with the like, you know, LGBTQ community, it would be less of a, you know, a thing because people would be able to like actually physically feel when we love someone else. So it would be a thing that would, you know, it wouldn't be a like, oh, that's your choice. It's a, oh, you actually feel love for this person, you know, and they would be able to feel it too.
I do also feel like there
that
would be
positive.
Oh, definitely. I also feel like there'd probably be some proximity base. I just kind of imagine you start feeling like some opposite emotion. Look at your neighbor and you'd be like, hey.
Knock that shit out.
Knock that shit out.
The property line is where the property line is. Line is, Barb.
I can feel you being pissy about it. Just let it go.
I wonder if that means murders would go down. Like crime of passion. Or are crime of passion so passionate they affect everybody else in like a ripple effect?
Oh, God.
Can we all talk about how dogs would be
terrifying
happy
to
like
think about.
24/7?
Well, it's species only.
No,
So, but yeah.
Yeah, no, like all dogs would be happy.
Dogs would be happy, as intended.
And all cats would be dismissive.
As
I was gonna say
intended.
pissy, but
And all hamsters would be running.
Yeah.
And all
Wait.
and all cows would be terrified.
Emotion today.
They would feel two emotions, running and giving birth. There is no in between.
Did you two miss my cow one?
Yeah.
And all cows would be terrified. What does this mean for religion?
Oh, that gets
Way
sketch.
Yeah, that gets way sketch. I don't know how to process that one.
Wow.
I think we could all agree on climate change, though. We'd be like, yeah, this is stressing us out.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just the politics? It was like, well, all of us are feeling this way, and you all are trying to fight it. So what the fuck?
You'd actually have to, like, that actually has to be, like, talking points in, like, meeting discussions where it's like, alright, so we noticed there was a big wave of angry today.
What caused that? Man, relationships must, like, last forever.
Or last very briefly.
I mean, I would say they would probably last longer because if it's like proximity based and you feel love for this person, but you can physically feel that they don't feel the same way that you do. I mean, because they would be able to feel how you feel, and if they don't feel the same, and you can't feel
you
it,
wouldn't
then
be able to,
like right off the bat that like you're not compatible.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, can we all talk about like viruses and how that would affect? So like just imagine one of you catches the flu. Like there's a flu like, you know, like epidemic.
Yeah, you wouldn't know if you had it or not cuz you'd just all be like
you'd all be fucking sick.
Feel fucking miserable all like, yeah.
Be like, I just ran a mile and I think I threw up 4 times. Are you sick? I don't know. I really don't.
Oh, you know what'd make me upset? I have a terrific meal. Someone enough like someone in my proximity is getting food poisoning, and I'm just like, should be enjoying this, Charles. Had to have the undercooked shrimp, Charles.
All food would have to be well done. You could never have raw food. Well, it's just so fucking weird, this whole thing. Okay,
Okay. If it wasn't weird, it wouldn't be fun. That's the first.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. What happens, like, what would happen if, like, aliens came down and they just see us all vibing and be like, what the fuck? Do you see this?
They'd think we'd achieved world peace, and they'd want in on that.
Yeah, right? They'd be like, how do you do it? We don't know. You just feel everything.
Happens, yeah.
Sort of like how the Martians on Mars were really chill. Well, you know, except when they warred with each other. So I guess they weren't that chill.
But yeah, like, as far as like, you know, crime and shit, it would be very, very like easy to tell if somebody is even planning a crime.
Like, why do you feel guilty, Sam? Sam?
Yeah, why do you feel like...
Why do you feel like guilt?
You know,
why do you feel like a piece of yeah, why do you feel like a piece of shit, Sam?
Would be so easy. You would just, you know, put somebody on trial and a jury would be like, yeah, this guy feels like real guilty.
So the lie detector would have never been invented, is what I'm hearing.
Probably,
well, that shit doesn't even work half the time. Let's be real.
Well, yes, going into the whole...
To, like, you would physically be able to tell if somebody is lying.
You know what would be an upside?
You know, being dishonest.
2 upsides. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Comedy clubs would be lit.
Yeah, I would want to live near a comedy club.
I would.
Raves would be lit.
Yeah. Also, sex would be lit. Like,
yeah?
Yeah, like it's already pretty lit. For those of you who like it. But damn, just imagine a collective like going down in Manhattan or whatever and be like, what's this? Oh, you know, like a kind of like a, you know, like a red light-esque district. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like
there'd be people who are just like, we constantly need humanity to be good, so your job is to eat good food and never get sick.
But there would absolutely be like, you would be able to, like, there'd be less Karens. You'd be able to tell whenever that shit's about to go down.
Yo, imagine
like,
when a Karen does go
bitch,
down.
You can't.
Yeah, no, a Karen does go down and everyone gets tense. So tense that the Karen's like, oh, I need to shut up now. We have that.
Yeah,
like,
I
so
mean,
there's some
Karen
upside.
would also be able to feel it, so it would be like, oh no, I don't like this. I can't. I should probably not.
Now here's my question. What would happen if someone invented a device that you put on your head that could turn it off?
Oh, people would do it. Well, actually, I don't know if people would do it because, like, that's to assume, like, if everything changed tomorrow, I would do that. I like my autonomy. Right?
Yeah.
Like, living in the pandemic has made us all fucking weepy and depressed and everything like that. And hopefully it gets better, but, like,
Now,
autonomy, like, is just what I've been conditioned to.
oh, sure. But now, do you think it would be
However, if
affordable
you
and
grew
distributed?
up in a world. Oh,
I don't know how
absolutely
pricing.
not.
Yeah, no, I don't know how pricing goes.
Anyway, you were saying, Deacon.
I mean, I was going to say that, like, to that point that Leia was saying, like, if you grew up in a universe where that's all you've ever felt is other people's emotions, I don't know how many people would actually go through with cutting it off, because, you know, when you feel that connected to pretty much everybody, it would in a way sort of be like telling people who grew up with their phones or technology that they have to, like, completely go dark and they can't have any sort of connection with anybody anymore, right? So I feel like to some extent there would be some people who are like, or most people would be like, I have grown up, you know, feeling this way and having experienced this and everybody else's emotions, that if I were to cut this off, I would just be disconnected from the world.
Yeah. So, like, and that is the theory, like, because we live in a very individualistic mindset on our world, we can't really accurately answer that one, which is fascinating, don't get me wrong. But, like, I personally would, like, if my brain turned on where I was feeling everything everybody else was feeling, like, already, you know, you have some people who claim that, who are like, I'm an empath, and then you're like, are you? Are you? Because you don't actually seem to care. Like, could you imagine what, like, actual human empathy would be like? Like, pure empathy, feeling everything, like, not even on a worldwide. Imagine your town just feeling everything. Because if you ever lived in New York, everyone would be pissy all the time. All the time. Never stop.
You're not wrong.
But yeah,
Like,
I
we
said,
already live in a similar thing.
No, I get what you mean. It might make people feel very alone if they were to just suddenly cut that off.
yeah, if they just suddenly cut it off, you would just feel disconnected, and like you didn't have that connection to everybody else in the world like you had before. And I feel like, you know, if you were in that scenario and you grew up in that world, that you probably wouldn't even think twice about cutting it off. But it, you know, it's an interesting thought experiment. But
I'm
would
proud
be
of
hard
myself.
to
Proud of myself for not interrupting you and saying phrasing.
what, the cut it off thing.
Yes.
Oh. But yeah, I like I said, I think it's an interesting thought experiment, but in a way it's very hard for,
Now,
like Leia said, us as individuals to be able to, like, I mean, in a way, like I said, I guess sort of the parallel is the internet, right? Because
I'm a little bit mad at you. You did not say how proud of me you were. You just said the line again and just awkwardly moved the conversation along, Deacon. I'm sorry, but that's... We're clearly not in sync with one another, hive mind wise. You bitch.
Well, I mean, if I said that I was proud of you for coming up with that, it sort of seems condescending.
So when are you not condescending, Deacon?
All the time. I'm never condescending. What are you talking about? Anyway.
I love you,
Woof.
man.
But no, like I said, the parallel is like the internet, yeah, because it connects us to pretty much everybody anytime we want to be. And if there
Oh,
was,
oh my
if you were
God,
to
if that's-
suddenly cut that off, like, you would feel this anxiety and, like, because you
that's
no longer have that connection to people that you used to have.
That's a good question though. Like, real talk. How many people, like, when you go up to like Twitter or whatnot and you see some bullshit news, you get tired and you're just like, I'm out. How many people you think just do that instead of just doom scroll? Like, I think we already kind of do have that with
The hive mind.
Yeah.
In a way,
Like, the
yeah.
internet is kind of like
of.
close. That's wild to think about.
I mean, like, that's the closest parallel to, like, real life that I can think of is, the internet. So
Yeah.
if the internet went out tomorrow, I can be like, I mean, if the internet went out right now, I can tell you without, a doubt, I would be like anxiety, trying to fix it, trying to make sure that it was working again, whatever.
Oh my God.
Because to be without that, connection for even like a couple of minutes stresses me out.
Huh. Did we just inadvertently realize that the internet is our hive mind?
We might have, yes.
That's fucked.
Pretty funny.
Wow.
No, it's true. It's amazing the emotions that you feel when you walk through other people's lives and see what they go through.
Yeah, no, like, real talk. Lately, I've been on TikTok a lot, and there's just, like, on a lot of my For You page, you can see a lot of pain from a lot of people, because I'm on like the Alphabet Mafia portion of it, so you get a lot of people who are very frustrated with laws right now, and it's just like it, you could just see, like, it saps my strength too, it saps everybody's strength that's part of that. And then you go on, like, other things like fandoms and whatnot, and people are either really happy or really sad. It is just wild to think about how, like, these social medias have, like, a emotional connection for us.
No, it's very true.
Yeah, because I mean, like you mentioned with the with the protests earlier.
Yeah.
Even when we were experiencing that through the internet, there was a collective anger and disappointment and sadness that we all felt every single time one of those videos popped up on our timeline or our TikTok. And
you want to know something truly horrible? You know how you're like, oh, I try and figure out what the internet is and everything, and I can't tell if if it went down. I can't tell if this is my ADHD or anything like that. But, like, after 5 minutes of trying something, I literally just move on to the next activity. So I probably could be cut off from the emotional hive mind and be okay for a little while until I feel bored. Because literally, I remember when our internet went out the last time, I just read a book.
Yeah.
I just was like, oh, that sucks. Reads book. We played a board game. We were like, oh, we're cut off from the hive mind. Let's go do something else. We're free.
We're free.
Yeah, I mean, I for me personally, like, if my internet goes out, it's a constant panic of when is it coming back? Like, when is it coming back? Because I want to be able to watch, I want to be able to watch videos. I want to be able to, like, watch live streams. I want to be able to have a connection with other people where I can talk and interact. And without that, I kind of fall apart. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, in a way, the internet is our version of that.
Yeah.
I mean, because, even with the social medias, like, we get a glimpse at literally every single person's life. Like, if I want to know what, Ariana Grande is doing right now, I can just go to her Twitter or her Instagram. And even though I don't know,
that's more if
I can, like, look up everything that she's doing, where she's going, like, every portion of her life, and it still gives us that connection to another human being,
Yeah.
It is wild to think about.
So do you think people would, like, overall be happier or sadder or some other collective emotion?
Honestly, I think people would be happier. And the reason why I could say that is I've known a lot of depressed people and nihilistic people and just frustrating people to be with. I don't really remember that. I always remember the happy, excited people that are in my life. They're way more infectious, and I feel like even just a small handful of them would do more in a collective hive mind than the sad people would. They would basically elevate the sad people up. Like, whenever I'm depressed, seeing you happy makes me so happy. And I think people would just bounce back off of that.
Making me blush.
You get a couple of people who are just really enthusiastic, they'd change the world.
Yeah.
See, I think the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I feel like overall people would probably be sadder. Because there's going to be more. I feel like there's probably going to be more people. Because to some extent, like, everyone has, something going on in their lives that, is not great at any given moment. So I feel like with those, unfortunate or bad moments, because so a thing that you're going to have to think about, think about how many people die like every second or every moment. Like,
actually,
that's a lot of
more people
that is constantly happening.
Counterpoint, more people are actually birthed on average than die. So you'd have people feeling very overwhelmed with joy.
I mean, potentially.
And also all the people who are already adults who are engaging like sexual activities and trying to feel more fulfilled. I think you're just a downer, Deacon. You nerd.
Well, no, because
love you.
The only reason I say that is because grief is an incredibly powerful emotion, right? And I just feel like all the people that are collectively having to deal with unfortunate situations, they're dealing with breakups, they're dealing with best friends leaving or not wanting to be a part of their lives anymore, they're dealing with, deaths, they're dealing with, bad shit that's happened at their work or at home or whatever. And those like bad collective emotions, especially grief, is going to, leak into the overall like emotional consciousness.
Yeah,
I feel like
I get
overall
what I have
people
learned
are on average going to be sadder than they are happier.
Yeah, what I have learned here, are you ready for this? What I have learned is that Deacon is a cat and I am apparently a dog. And I always thought I was a cat, and I'm really happy to know that I'm a puppy. Well, I'm actually like a fox. They're very family-oriented and excitable.
Such a dork.
Well,
I love it.
I'll be real with you. I have literally been like, a pessimist my whole life. So
no,
it's hard to break away.
No.
From things.
Yeah, you don't say. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Like, woof, that was I think that's the most serious we've gotten on this podcast, like in a good way. I don't mean it negatively, but just like, wow, look at y'all putting those thinkers to work. So my question now is this world feasible?
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
Just it wouldn't be like what we're at.
No, I mean, like, I could see a universe like this existing, but probably a couple, millennia down the line, because as, evolution continues and as humanity evolves, that sort of like empathy is a thing that would probably improve along the way. But I could see it.
Leia, you also said yes?
Yes. I did say yes. Yeah.
Would you live there?
No.
No.
Yeah,
listen,
I don't think I would either.
I have the belief that it could be better, but I'm not 100% certain.
No, I just think it's kind of funny. We're all like, wow, the possibilities. Would you live there? No. God, no.
There's no guarantee.
Yeah, no, I
There,
get you.
and that's a scary thing of life, you know.
All right,
yeah,
well,
I just don't know if I don't know if feeling other people's emotions is a thing that like
God, I mean, could you imagine feeling like Mitch McConnell's emotions? It'd be like this
God.
cold, raw hatred, like Darth Vader.
I mean, like I said, I just don't I don't know. There would be like it would be weird and
Oh my God, it's literally the Force.
I mean, it's a little bit more
Kinda.
powerful than the Force.
yeah,
All right, well,
kinda.
thanks everyone for tuning in to Multiversial and visiting this strange and dangerous world with us.
Special shout out to our sponsor tier Patreon, Neji Komu, and all of our paid subscribers for keeping us employed making free content like this podcast.
Big thanks to our judge Jen for picking our topic today, and for all you listeners, be sure to check out fierceferrets.com for all of the great stuff we make and links to all of our social medias and Patreon to help support the show.
See you at another time in another world, strangers.